12 Stoic Principles for Immediate Life Transformation. Did you know that the key to turning your greatest challenges into opportunities might have been discovered more than 2,000 years ago? Imagine facing life's storms with a calm so unshakable that nothing could disturb your inner peace. Sounds like a superpower, right? But it's not just a fantasy. It's a timeless philosophy, one that was just as relevant in the busy streets and marble forums of ancient Rome and Greece as it is today. Stoicism teaches us something incredibly powerful. While we can't control everything that happens around us, we have full control over how we respond. And in a world where uncertainty feels like the only constant, this way of thinking might be the anchor we've all been searching for. Here's the twist. Stoicism isn't about overthinking or bottling up emotions. It's about living with intention, with purpose, and with resilience, regardless of what life throws your way. It's not about avoiding feelings, but understanding and managing them to live more fully. Whether you're overwhelmed, navigating adversity, or simply wanting to feel more joy in the everyday, stay with me. Today we're diving deep into Stoic teachings, uncovering insights that don't just change how we think but how we live. If you're ready to transform your mindset and your life, hit that subscribe button, give this a like, and stay with me to the very end, because every second is a step toward unlocking Stoic wisdom that could change everything. 1. Focusing on what's in your control. Ever caught yourself stuck in traffic, frustrated by the delay? Or maybe you were scrolling through your phone, only to get upset by a negative comment. It happens to all of us. Life constantly throws these little tests our way, testing our patience, our mood, and our peace of mind. But here's a perspective from the Stoics that can completely shift the way you respond. Focus only on what you can control. Stoicism, this ancient yet highly relevant philosophy, offers a practical tool. Choose your reaction. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Let that sink in. Traffic, the weather, harsh words, these are all outside of your control. No amount of anger will change them. But what is in your control is your reaction. This isn't just ancient wisdom. Modern psychology backs it too. Carl Jung famously said, "I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become." That's Stoicism in action, taking ownership over our thoughts, responses, and behaviors. Let's make it real. Picture yourself late for a meeting, stuck in a traffic jam. You can spend the next 30 minutes honking, stressing, and getting angry. Or you can take a deep breath, accept it, and use that time to listen to a podcast or just enjoy some music. The situation hasn't changed, but your experience has. And that simple shift can turn frustration into calm. This principle applies to everything, from personal goals to how we deal with people or face setbacks. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." So next time something throws you off balance, ask yourself, is this within my control? If it's not, let it go. Focus on what is. Your response, your mindset, your next step. It won't always be easy, but with practice, it can become your greatest tool for peace and power. Stoicism isn't about pretending problems don't exist. It's about transforming how we face them. And that brings us to the next principle. 2. Embracing obstacles as opportunities. When life throws a curveball, do you ever ask, "Why me?" Stoicism invites a different question. What can I learn from this? This is a complete mindset shift. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, once wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, obstacles aren't just roadblocks, they're paths to growth. Every setback, no matter how tough, tests our resilience and teaches us something valuable. This isn't just an ancient idea. Carl Jung again said, "What you resist persists." The more we fight challenges, the more power they hold over us. But when we accept and learn from them, we grow beyond them. Let's bring it down to earth. Imagine you've been rejected from multiple job applications. It's easy to spiral into self-doubt. But what if each no is feedback? Maybe it's showing you where to grow, what to refine, or even guiding you toward something better. That reframing turns rejection into redirection. Even in personal conflict, those uncomfortable conversations and tense moments, there's opportunity. You get to practice patience, empathy, clarity. You learn how to listen better, express yourself more effectively, and strengthen relationships. The heart of this principle is simple. Instead of being a passive victim of your circumstances, become an active learner. Ask yourself, what is this teaching me? Not every lesson comes easy, but every challenge can build something in you. Strength, wisdom, clarity. As Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react that defines your life." By embracing obstacles, we don't just push through, we rise above. We shift from resistance to resilience, from frustration to focus. 3. Living in the present moment. We hear it all the time, live in the now. But what does that actually mean? Living in the present moment is about being fully aware and engaged with where you are right now, not caught up in future worries or past regrets. Just here, experiencing the moment for what it is. For the Stoics, this was essential. Marcus Aurelius said, "Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment." Why is this so powerful? Because the present is all we ever truly have. When our minds are consumed by tomorrow's to-do list or yesterday's mistakes, we miss the only thing that's real, this moment. Carl Jung captured it well. The least of things with a meaning is worth more in life than the greatest of things without it. In other words, even small, meaningful moments in the present are worth more than chasing distant dreams with no depth. Aristotle also spoke of this. He believed that living well, achieving what he called eudaimonia or human flourishing, depended on our ability to be present and virtuous in the now. The more grounded we are, the richer our experience becomes. So how do we actually practice this? It begins with mindfulness. When you eat, taste your food. When you walk, notice your steps. When someone speaks to you, listen, truly listen. Not planning your response, but giving them your full attention. These acts may seem small, but they're powerful. They return you to the present and help you experience life more deeply. Seneca, another great Stoic, reminded us that life isn't short. We just waste a lot of it. And one of the biggest ways we waste it, by not being fully present. True wisdom and genuine happiness lie in embracing the present moment, without relying anxiously on what the future holds. He recognized that worrying about what's ahead or dwelling on the past only steals joy from the present. Living in the now doesn't mean neglecting the future or erasing the past. It's about striking a balance, learning from what's behind us, preparing for what's ahead, but staying grounded in today. That's where peace and fulfillment live. Every second is a chance to pause, reset, and center ourselves in the now. This is where we love, laugh, grow, and create memories. Let's make an intentional effort to be more present, because right now is where life actually happens. Reframing self-discipline. The term self-discipline might make you think of rigid routines or a joyless lifestyle, but let's change that narrative. Self-discipline isn't about restriction, it's about empowerment. It's the ability to make decisions aligned with your deepest values and long-term goals, even when they're not the easiest in the moment. At its core, developing discipline is about gaining mastery over yourself. It's about choosing actions that support your growth and letting go of the ones that don't, even when it's challenging. Think about it. Sticking to your workouts, saving money instead of impulse spending, or turning off Netflix to focus on your side project. None of these bring immediate rewards, but they build a foundation for lasting success and fulfillment. The Stoics knew this well. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and Stoic thinker, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That's the essence of discipline, managing your internal world despite the noise around you. Seneca also encouraged staying steady and not letting desires dominate us. He believed true freedom comes from self-governance, from mastering our appetites and impulses. And Aristotle, he believed that we reach excellence through habits. That's why discipline matters, not for rare bursts of motivation, but for the consistent choices that shape who we become. Modern psychology echoes this. Carl Jung emphasized integrating all aspects of our psyche to become whole, and that requires the discipline to align our actions with our inner truth. So how do we build it? Start small. Pick one habit to improve: your diet, your fitness, your spending, and set realistic daily goals. Every choice that reflects your bigger vision builds your discipline muscle. Epictetus reminds us, no great thing is created suddenly. It's the tiny, steady steps that count. This is a journey of choosing long-term peace over short-term comfort. It's about acting in alignment with who we want to be. Let's walk this path together, choosing what's right, even when it's not easy. In self-discipline lies the power to create the life we dream of. Cultivating emotional resilience. Life will throw curveballs. Feeling sad, angry, or overwhelmed is part of being human. But what truly matters is how we respond to those emotions. That's the heart of emotional resilience, our ability to move through life's storms and come out stronger. Resilience means noticing our feelings, understanding them, and then choosing a response that supports growth, instead of being carried away by the emotional wave. The Stoics had much to say here too. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." It's not about suppressing feelings, but about how we handle them. Seneca believed adversity reveals character, that challenges help us grow wiser and more grounded. To build resilience, start with self-awareness. Notice your reactions. Give yourself space to feel, without judgment. Then, reflect. What triggered that emotion? What can it teach you? Aristotle's idea of the golden mean applies beautifully. Find the middle path, neither burying nor being ruled by emotions. Balance is key. Carl Jung spoke of the need to integrate every part of ourselves. Emotional resilience is part of that integration, acknowledging what we feel and learning how to respond with intention. When emotions hit hard, pause, breathe, reflect, then choose a response that honors your values and your future. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is the superpower of resilience, the ability to transform reaction into response. It's a lifelong practice, through mindfulness, journaling, talking to someone you trust, or simply treating yourself with patience. Resilience isn't about never feeling pain. It's about navigating the waves and becoming stronger through them. Let's grow this inner strength together, because the more resilient we become, the more empowered we are to live fully, no matter what life brings. True wisdom and authentic happiness come from fully experiencing the present, without anxiously clinging to what's ahead. He understood that obsessing over the future or getting stuck in the past only robs us of today's joy. Being present doesn't mean ignoring the future or forgetting the past. It's about finding harmony, taking lessons from yesterday, preparing for tomorrow, but rooting ourselves in the now. That's where true peace lives. Every moment offers a chance to pause, breathe, and ground ourselves. This is where we connect, grow, love, and create memories. Let's make a conscious effort to be here, because life unfolds in the present. Rethinking self-discipline. When we hear self-discipline, we often picture strict routines or a life stripped of fun, but it's time to rewrite that idea. Self-discipline isn't about deprivation, it's about self-respect. It's the power to make choices that align with your highest values and long-term vision, even when they require effort. At its essence, discipline is self-mastery. It's making intentional decisions that support your growth and releasing the ones that hold you back even when it's uncomfortable. Think about it. Sticking to your workout plan, budgeting instead of splurging, choosing to work on your side hustle instead of binge-watching. These things might not give instant gratification, but they build the life you truly want. The Stoics understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not external events. Understand this, and you will find strength." This is what discipline is, learning to manage your inner world, no matter the outside noise. Seneca emphasized steadiness, not being ruled by desire. To him, true freedom meant self-control, governing your impulses rather than being led by them. And Aristotle? He taught that excellence comes from repeated actions, from habits. Discipline isn't about occasional motivation, but daily consistency that shapes your identity. Modern psychology agrees. Carl Jung spoke of integrating all aspects of the self to achieve wholeness, which requires the discipline to act in alignment with who we truly are. How to start? Begin small. Choose one area, nutrition, exercise, spending, and commit to realistic daily actions. Each intentional choice strengthens your discipline muscle. Epictetus said, "No great thing is created suddenly. It's the steady, repeated steps that make the difference." This is a path of choosing long-term fulfillment over short-lived comfort. It's about acting from the place of who you're becoming. Let's walk it together, choosing what's right, even when it's hard. In discipline lies the ability to build the life you imagine. Building emotional resilience. Life is unpredictable. We'll face disappointment, stress, heartbreak. It's part of being human. What truly matters is how we respond. That's emotional resilience, the inner strength to move through difficulties and emerge wiser. Resilience is about recognizing your emotions, sitting with them, and responding in ways that support your growth, instead of letting them control your path. The Stoics were clear on this too. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, "You have power over your mind, not external events. Understand this, and you will find strength." It's not about ignoring emotions, but learning how to navigate them. Seneca believed that hardship reveals who we are, that it refines us, rather than breaks us. To cultivate resilience, begin with awareness. Observe your emotional responses without judgment. Pause. Ask yourself, what triggered this feeling? What is it trying to tell me? Aristotle's concept of the golden mean encourages balance, neither repressing nor being ruled by our emotions. Find the middle path. Jung also emphasized the integration of all parts of ourselves. Emotional resilience is part of that process, learning to embrace and respond to what we feel instead of reacting blindly. When emotions surge, take a breath, create space, then choose your next step with clarity and intention. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." That's the power of resilience, transforming instinctive reaction into conscious response. It's a lifelong journey, strengthened by mindfulness, reflection, meaningful conversations, or simply offering yourself grace. Resilience doesn't mean you'll never struggle. It means you'll rise, every time. Let's nurture that strength together. The more emotionally resilient we become, the more free and empowered we are to truly live, no matter what life brings. True contentment begins within. It comes from living a life aligned with your values and beliefs. Epictetus reminded us that placing too much weight on other people's opinions is a waste of energy, simply because it's outside our control. Instead, he urged us to focus on our choices and strive to live with virtue. That's where real power lies. So how can we stop seeking approval and start living more authentically? First, realize this. You are the author of your own narrative. Your worth isn't defined by society, social media, or the people around you. It's built from your values, your integrity, your compassion, and the consistent effort to become your best self. Second, engage in self-reflection. Ask yourself, am I shaping my life based on my own dreams or someone else's expectations? This kind of honest introspection can help you reconnect with what truly matters to you. Third, welcome vulnerability. Living authentically means embracing your imperfections. It means being okay with growth, with getting things wrong, and with learning along the way. This kind of openness draws in people who value the real you. Remember Aristotle's idea of the golden mean, finding harmony in everything. When it comes to caring about others' opinions, the balance lies in staying open to constructive feedback, while not surrendering your sense of self. Adopting a Stoic mindset means knowing that your self-worth is shaped not by praise or popularity, but by your virtues and actions. It's about building an inner strength that isn't shaken by fleeting judgments or external applause. Let's start honoring who we truly are, not for the validation we receive, but for the life we're building. When you live with authenticity, your light shines the brightest. Bani-san, embracing change isn't just something we have to tolerate. It's essential to our growth and happiness. Life is in constant motion, and learning to move with it can turn uncertainty into opportunity. The Stoics had a wise perspective on change. They saw it as part of life's natural rhythm. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs." This kind of mindset helps us see every shift, even the uncomfortable ones, as part of a bigger picture. Seneca warned against becoming too attached to our current circumstances because life is always changing. Flexibility, he believed, is key to lasting peace. And Epictetus? He encouraged us to separate what's within our control from what isn't. While we can't always influence external events, we can choose how we respond to them. That is our superpower. So how do we become better at navigating change? 1. Acknowledge its inevitability. Everything is in flux. Seasons, relationships, even our bodies. Embracing change means embracing life itself. 2. Be present. Mindfulness helps us enjoy what we have now without clinging to it. When things shift, we're more prepared to adapt with grace. 3. Look for the lesson. Every transformation, no matter how hard, brings growth. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" try asking, "What is this teaching me?" Aristotle believed that living virtuously is the path to happiness, and part of that virtue is adaptability, the ability to remain steady while everything around us evolves. Modern psychology supports this too. Seeing change as an opportunity instead of a threat can reduce stress and build emotional resilience. Let's shift our mindset. Change isn't the enemy, it's an invitation to evolve, to grow, and to step into a new version of ourselves. Practicing compassion and empathy. Despite our differences, we're all navigating the same complex human experience. Choosing kindness and understanding can make this journey lighter, not just for others, but for ourselves too. The Stoics believed deeply in our shared humanity. They saw compassion and empathy not as weaknesses, but as virtues essential to a good life. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that we are social beings, designed to live and thrive in connection. He said, "What brings no benefit to the hive brings none to the bee." In other words, when we care for others, we care for ourselves. Seneca urged us to treat others with generosity and patience. He believed that by helping others, we also nourish our own souls. Even when people hurt us, he encouraged empathy, recognizing that everyone acts from their own wounds and limitations. Epictetus taught that understanding others' perspectives is a sign of wisdom. We don't need to excuse harmful behavior, but seeking to understand it leads to inner peace. Compassion begins with small choices, listening without judgment, being patient with someone's bad day, or offering help without expecting anything in return. Empathy doesn't just improve relationships, it deepens our character. It reminds us that being human means being in it together. So let's lead with heart. Let's be the kind of person who lifts others up, even when no one's watching. Because a life lived with compassion is a life well lived. Harmful behavior doesn't solve anything. What truly matters is approaching others with a mindset of empathy, genuinely aiming to understand their background and perspectives. But how can we actually live out compassion and empathy in our everyday lives? It all begins with listening, deeply listening to the voices, stories, and emotions of those around us. It's about stepping into their reality, imagining their challenges, triumphs, worries, and dreams. This effort to truly understand can help close the divide between us, building bonds of connection and a sense of shared humanity. One way to nurture compassion and empathy is through simple, thoughtful actions. A smile, a sincere compliment, an attentive ear. These small gestures have the power to brighten someone's day. When we are present and truly pay attention to others, we show them they matter, that their experiences and feelings hold meaning. Practicing empathy also involves offering support during hard times, showing up with care, and without judgment. It's about honoring the worth and humanity in every individual, even when we're different. The ancient thinker Aristotle emphasized the importance of friendships built on empathy. He believed true friends stand by each other not just in celebration, but also in sorrow, walking together through life with care and understanding. Modern psychology echoes this timeless truth, that empathy and compassion not only strengthen our connections, but also improve our own emotional health. When we care for others, we cultivate meaning, belonging, and joy in our own lives. Let's remember, every person carries a story, and every action has a root. By choosing to understand and care, we help create a more gentle, kind world. In doing so, we uplift not only those around us, but also ourselves. Let's spread kindness like sunlight, small, steady rays that create ripples of compassion, one act at a time. Aufhinpas, reflecting and reviewing regularly. This means taking intentional pauses, true, mindful breaks, to reflect on our thoughts, actions, and the path we're walking. It's a practice of growth and alignment with our core values. In a world obsessed with speed, reflection becomes our anchor, keeping us from drifting off course and helping us steer with purpose. The Stoics, known for their deep insights into human nature, held this practice in high regard. Marcus Aurelius, in his writings now known as Meditations, offers a powerful example. Despite ruling an empire, he found time for honest self-examination, checking his decisions and values through personal journaling. He once wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts," reminding us that our inner world shapes the outer one. Seneca encouraged routine self-reflection to grow wiser and live better. He compared life to a play, urging us to periodically review our roles. Are we acting in line with who we want to be? Do our choices reflect the values we cherish? Epictetus advised his students to end each day by reviewing their behavior and mindset. This wasn't about harsh self-judgment, but rather awareness and progress. He recommended questions like, what did I handle well today? Where did I fall short? What duties did I overlook? By asking ourselves these things, we gain direction and make course corrections toward a more intentional life. So how can we adopt this Stoic habit today? Start by making it a daily ritual, even just 5 minutes before bed. Reflect on your highs and lows, how you responded, and what you learned. While mental reflection is powerful, journaling adds clarity and creates a meaningful record of your growth. Also, use this moment to practice gratitude. Make note of the small things that sparked joy or brought comfort. This helps retrain our minds away from negativity and toward a more optimistic outlook. And most importantly, approach reflection with self-compassion. Conclusion: integrating Stoicism into your life. Reflection isn't about blaming yourself. It's about noticing what needs growth and embracing the journey. Speak to yourself as you would to a close friend, with patience and support. Aristotle believed a thoughtful life was the foundation of wisdom. To truly know ourselves, our actions, intentions, and place in the world is to live a meaningful life. Modern science agrees. Regular self-reflection supports mental clarity, emotional resilience, and personal evolution. Looking back on our experiences helps us process feelings, extract lessons, and make wiser choices moving forward. So let's make reflection a part of our daily rhythm. Let it be our compass, not just to keep us moving, but to make sure we're moving with intention. Each pause to reflect gives us the wisdom to proceed with greater alignment, self-awareness, and authenticity. This path of introspection is sacred because through understanding ourselves, we unlock deeper joy and a truer version of life. Every lesson from Stoicism isn't just old philosophy, it's practical wisdom, tools to manage stress, make better choices, and find peace even when life gets messy. It's not the setbacks that shape us, it's the strength we tap into, the lessons we carry, and the kindness we offer. Each moment of reflection, each act of kindness, each choice for growth, these are the brushstrokes that paint the masterpiece of your life. So don't just drift through existence. Live with intention. Live boldly, kindly, and honestly. As we wrap up, don't let this be the end of your journey. Right here on the screen is a playlist packed with timeless stories, insights, and tools to guide you through life's ups and downs with clarity and courage. Click it, explore, and keep sculpting your most genuine self. Let's keep growing, keep reflecting, and keep showing up for life, fully, bravely, and with heart. Thanks for being here with me. Until next time, remember, live not for the applause, but for the purpose. The beautiful purpose of becoming your truest self. Take care, and I'll see you on the next step of our journey.